There we go. We got that Christmas feel.
Christmas season is the reason for Jesus.
It's Christmas. Don't dismiss this podcast. Oh, the song's missing. I usually do more than that, but the song is out.
You started off really good.
Right? I always start good, and then my brain will start thinking of other stuff, and it just always it ends very well. Not really.
I'm so happy we kept these. So for those of you who don't know, we got this on a Christmas gift. There was like a bucket for a trainer appreciation week at the gym I work for, and he used to work for. That's another story. And on the little bucket of goodies, these Christmas bells were around it. And I threw the bucket away, of course, after I was done eating the goodies.
Right.
And
That is
then
true.
I kept the bells and kept them in my backpack. And then we made a song out of them.
Right. And I just kind of went off like a whim. I was like, man, like some Christmas bells would be really good. And then you ran down to the car and just came back up with Christmas bells. Like, I've had these all year long and stuff. And I was like, wow.
I specifically had them for this reason.
Like, I knew I was going to use them. It was either for a song or fucking, but one of those. One or the other. Right. Be dashing through the snow, you know? Right. So,
we came in handy.
Right, we haven't even introed ourselves at all. This is a new podcast that we're starting. I'm Ryan Ortiz.
I'm Danny.
The second. I'm Ryan Ortiz the first. But yeah, we DJ MC together. We also have a few projects working together. Kind of the Dry Hearts is what we kind of called it, but we might be changing it. I don't know. We'll see. We will see.
TBD.
Yeah, exactly. And then we got Connor coming in later. You're not going to see him yet, but we're going to be practicing music for him. What is the day that we're playing that show and where at?
Okay, so the first ever gig for the Dry Hearts, pending Dry Hearts, is going to be the Richard Wilmore Show, located at I think it's Candlelit Coffee House. I don't know. Candlelight.
That sounds right.
Candlelight Coffee House.
Something like that.
And it's basically just an up and coming talk show guy. So old school talk show, Jay Leno style. I think there's a live crowd.
Because that's not dying off right now at all.
Not at all.
So
we should just be on a podcast.
Exactly. We should just invite him to this podcast right now. No, I'm just fucking. We're very grateful to try it out and everything like that. And then this is going to be our first live show performing music like that. And it should be fun. We're still trying to figure out everything. We don't have it all set in stone how we're going to play it, but
we may want to get a song done.
Right, yeah. Maybe we might want to get a song together as a band before that show shows up. Hopefully.
That'd be a smart idea.
Yeah, we're definitely working on that. We recently just did that DJ wedding, or I DJ'd a wedding. You MC'd it. I also audio engineered it. That was your first ever time working a wedding, right?
That was the first time I've ever worked a wedding. That's the first time I've ever done anything live aside from plays or acting live.
But you've also done like boxing announcing and stuff like that.
I did that, but I mean, that was like spur of the moment, you know. Hey, we need an announcer. All right, jump up there.
Right. So, I got a bow tie.
Wing it. I actually have a bow tie in my car with these sleigh bells.
Leave the sleigh bells.
I'm
bring the bow tie.
always prepared. You never know. When
right. Just a box of just random stuff.
That was cool, though. I really liked the wedding thing. And it was lots. Well, you said it was simple. And but it was like as long as you're prepared, like it can go south very quickly.
Right. It really can. It really can. But for a lot of like brides out there, don't overthink it, because that's like one of my pet peeves with talking to the brides and stuff. Like Denise, she was great. We actually had to like figure stuff out the morning of and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It was completely great. You know, the whole wedding was beautiful, but a lot of times like brides would like breathe down your neck for like a month, and it's just like it's pretty easy.
I can only imagine like how much stress though, like the biggest day of their life, you know, aside from like kiddos or whatever.
They gotta dress up and play princess. The biggest day of their life.
Can't wait to get my all white suit, even though I've been with 50 guys.
Oh my gosh. Weddings.
JK,
like,
love you guys.
I've probably done 100 weddings now, and just every single time I do it, it like not a little.
Is it the same thing? Like people ask the same stuff?
Yeah, it's very, very similar. Especially being in the location of San Antonio, you're gonna have a lot of the same music requests. I mean, we're all a community. I mean, we all talk very similar. We all have the same accent, so it's gonna like kind of same parties and everything like that, for sure.
Have you ever had somebody out of like left field, like, hey, we want this random.
So what are some weird ones? I had an Irish wedding I did. I actually saw a rainbow on that day. Yeah, and instead of a mariachi, they had like the bagpipes and stuff that come through. That was a really fun one.
That's pretty cool.
What's another really good like random one I've done? I've done Indian weddings. Like not Native American, more PC than that, like actual Indian people. I did a Black Baptist wedding from New Orleans.
Ooh,
they got down, yeah.
Oh man!
But I fucked up on that one.
A lot of soul in that,
right? Because what was the song? They wanted I want to say, oh man, I can't remember it. Like This Is My Year or something like that. I can't remember the song, but they were like the clean version. I was like, got it, and I played it. Not the clean version. Very Baptist.
Oh god!
Cuss word comes on, or like this girl's talking about her pussy or something, and everyone is gonna like. I'm like,
what? What?
I didn't say that. But they blew it off really quickly, and they were really cool, and it was great. Like a lot of people were artists and like rappers and stuff like that there, and they were coming up checking out my equipment and talking to me. I actually worked with a few of them too. Keenan, I can't remember his name. Weird Louisiana name. Very black. Very talented, but yeah.
Poirier, something with the IER at the end.
Something weird.
EA,
like
something EA.
So was it what you thought it would be, DJing, and like kind of like, or what were your expectations before? Like,
I thought that it was gonna be kind of like a performance.
Yeah. Right,
like so, I was like, I thought I had to get in character. I had to do something, you know. But it's totally chill, and it's 3 hours in, people were drunk as hell already.
Yeah, right.
So it's just really like just give and take, and more laid back than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking like perform. I was like, I got to get good posture. I got to pronounce this properly, or what you do. But it's much more relaxed. It's more about just getting everybody excited.
Yeah, everyone's there to have a good time.
Oh, the bride and groom. The bride and groom. Let's give a hand.
Right. You know? In the left corner. Just straight up Bruce Buffer it.
Fighting.
Right. And I had the analogy of like, so DJing a club is like you usually get 30 minutes to an hour if you're like kind of a local, but if you're a really big guy, you get probably about like an hour to two hours. You know, dos sexies. But a wedding, instead of that 30 minutes, you got to do that for 4 to 5 hours. Right, so it is really a marathon.
So longevity. Yeah,
it really does take.
You can't throw all your aces out at once,
exactly. Right? And you would like kind of say something. So I was like, wait.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it, but that happens a lot. Like girls will come up and be like, "Can you play the wobble?" I'm like, "This is not a good time for that." They just did the father-daughter dance. I'm not gonna go right into the wobble.
Everybody get down there, wobble, baby, wobble.
Right, but no,
not sponsored.
Not sponsored. But if you want to hit us up, no. But that is the hard thing, just trying to like please everyone and be like, all right, and then also like saving those aces up your sleeve and stuff like that. I realized I didn't even play any Bruno Mars or Michael Jackson, and I usually play a lot of that.
That usually is a big hit, I would think. Yeah. But for this particular wedding, being Peruvian and Mexican descent, they were really going for the cumbias a lot.
Yeah,
I was surprised. I mean, I'm used to the cumbias, you know.
Yeah, me too.
Born in San Antonio, but I was like, wow, it's like every song they want is just cumbia.
We were talking about too, like how big Latin music is around the world. I mean, it's in Mexico, it's in Puerto Rico, it's in Spain, it's in Europe and stuff. It's
Brazil
everywhere.
even.
Yeah, it is everywhere. But with American music, I mean, we're lucky if we're over in Britain and England.
Yeah, in England. Like
yeah, Australia maybe. I heard they go pretty crazy for American bands and stuff like that.
In Australia.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, English is the native tongue over there as well. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And they like a lot of country. Fucking Keith Urban and stuff. He's from Australia.
He is?
Yeah, he's Australian.
Oh, he is, right?
Right. You would think he's.
I didn't even tell he had an accent until I saw him on that show. Is it not America's Got Talent? Is it? No.
Is that how he got noticed?
No, he was on. Oh goodness, he was on.
American
I want to say
Idol?
X Factor or something. Oh, American Idol. Yeah, he was on American Idol with J-Lo. He was on with J-Lo.
I remember when Ellen was on American Idol, and I was like, "That's random, but it's okay." I like
literally
Ellen.
No talent.
Ellen has. I know she can't.
We're literally doing what she does.
But she does. She is very music appreciative. That's for damn sure.
I love Ellen.
Right, for 15 minutes of her show, for 30-minute show is just dancing, just straight up dancing.
She's a people person, is what she is. She's the champion of the people. She's like The Rock.
Yeah, yeah.
But talk shows.
That's what she's into. Yeah, back to Australia though. They got a lot of kangaroos. That's a fact. Is that the only place there's kangaroos? Is Australia?
I'm sure there's some type of African.
Oh, that just sounds racist.
Kangaroo.
What did you just saying?
I had an ex-girlfriend who claims that she was legitimately afraid of kangaroos. I thought it was a bullshit. Like I'm like, oh, you just joshing me. Yeah, she's scared. She claimed she was scared of them.
Really?
She says like, yeah, just I don't know what she said at the zoo when she was younger. Like the kangaroo kicked the glass or something.
Oh shit.
So, but I was like,
here's a fun fact about kangaroos: they can't kick, punch, or jump backwards. So if you're ever in a fight with a kangaroo, just get behind him.
Take his back and rear naked choke.
If you ever see that girl getting like attacked by a kangaroo, just like, get behind him.
She's my ex-girlfriend, so I'd probably lure her to the kangaroo pit
get in front.
to get punched.
Don't get behind it, whatever you do.
I'm kidding. I love my exes.
All my exes live in Texas.
They do.
Right? I know, right? I was like, really relate to this song, George.
Okay.
Damn, Jorge. Every single time. All your songs, hit after hit.
Dude, he's the best country guy. Speaking of country, Keith Urban again. So are you a new country guy?
No.
Real? I call it real country, but
I like my favorite style of country I've learned is outlaw country. It's that Sturgill Simpson, Shirlene from the show It's Archer's Outlaw Country. It's almost like Southern rock, like kind of Leonard Skinner, like kind of close to that, but like kind of still like acoustic guitars and country like vibe, folk vibe. I'll show you.
I'm trying to think of but I can't really think of anything.
Yeah, it's outlaw country.
Is that what it's called? Outlaw country?
Yeah, that is what it's called. So you wouldn't define.
That's not the twang, right?
No.
Like the.
You wouldn't think George Strait or something like that. You would think like it's more like talking to like robbing banks, drinking drugs, stuff like that.
Like a legitimately outlaw.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, and it just has this like certain sound and just kind of roughness to it that really I've always liked. I was like, yeah, I'm an outlaw. I can relate to this.
It's real manly.
Yeah.
A manly type of country.
That's kind of country I like. What kind of country you like? You like the old school stuff?
I like George Strait.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, dude.
I like Clint Black, Brooks and Dunn. Those guys like '90s country. You know.
I'm surprised you're not 45 years old. How old are you really? Are you lying about your age for acting?
I'm 26.
I feel like you're lying about your age for acting.
Freaking. I can play anywhere from 20 to 31.
I'll be 22 next year. Yeah. Why are you laughing? I don't know why you're laughing.
I believe you.
Right.
I believe you.
No, maturity wise, probably 22 next year. Might probably just turn 17 maturity wise.
I have phases, man. When I'm with Daniela, I'm super youthful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she bring that out of you.
Super childish.
I noticed
like 12.
Like when a lot of girls when they really like me, they'll start doing the baby voice.
Yeah.
And it's just like this inner child kind of coming out of you without even noticing it or anything like that.
You know why?
Why?
I did a bunch of like human psychology, human sexuality, and human body movement courses in college.
Yeah.
And on one of them, in the human psychology course, they were saying the reason why people become more infantile is because it brings them back to like a place of lesser responsibility, of innocence and stuff like that.
Right.
So when you like somebody a lot, like a husband and wife will baby talk each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. It's disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves so much.
Fucking A, but it's so true. It's so true.
I'm like, talk right. Talk like an adult. The fuck is wrong with
notice I make up my own fucking words too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed, like, me and you hanging out and stuff like that, I've been, like, thinking in my head savvy because you say that all the time.
I do say that.
Right? And, like, when you're dating someone, you'll notice that, like, you kind of pick up on their, like, sayings and stuff like that. Going back to, like, it's a community. That's why so many San Antonio weddings are the same. It's like we are all in the same because we all share that same accent and everything. It's a language, really. It's a dialogue of the English language, is like Texan or San Antonio.
You start to become who you hang out with.
Yeah.
Like they say that about getting wealthy. Remember? I don't know if it's Dale Carnegie or Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I was just about to say Rich Dad, Poor Dad kind of thing.
Yeah. Like you are, like, surround yourself with with wealthy, well-off people, and you start to adopt their habits and, you know, the lingo and stuff like that.
Right. And that goes a
Savvy?
lot. Yeah, right, savvy. But that goes a lot with fighting. Because, like, you don't want to be the best one in the gym. Like, you want to be in a gym where you're like...
Unless you're Conor McGregor, then you...
Well, I mean, look what happened.
Yeah.
He's on a losing streak now, 0-3 right now or something like that.
He hasn't won a fight since 2016.
Yeah, see? But, I mean, he's winning, though. He's definitely winning. I would retire if I was him. I don't know. He doesn't do anything else other than, like, make whiskey and punch old guys.
I heard he makes more from the whiskey than he did with fighting. Well, of course, not with the Floyd fight, but
we are sponsored by that whiskey.
Yeah, Proper 12. We get it in the stores. Specs. Not a sponsor. Sponsored. Not a sponsor.
Future. This is kind of the manifesting part of the podcast.
Hold on, before we get in the fight game. But that's so crazy how lately you've been really talking about like the law of attraction, manifesting, and stuff like that. Because I believe in it deep down, but I'm scared to share it because I don't want like people to doubt me and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do.
Ridicule is tough. I've never been good with criticism. Right. Yeah, I get really upset.
Criticism is good because like when you ask for it, because I'll show people music and or when people show me music, I will try to give them criticism, but I'll figure out what I like about it first. Like try to find 3 things I like about it. Say this is good, this is good, this is good, and this is what needs to be worked on, and stuff like that. Like try to find the good things, and then like I think Elon Musk says it like
a compliment first, something like that.
Yeah, well, Elon Musk talks about criticism, like really listen to your critics, because like the yes man is like, oh, you did great, that was awesome, and stuff like that. You're not gonna grow from that. You're gonna stay there. Yeah. But when someone's like, work on this, you're gonna start working on that and get better. And like that's why I remember one time my friend was like, hey man, I don't like this beat and stuff, and like I just kind of really took it to heart. It was like, damn, it kind of like upset me. And I saw that, like, learned to, like, take the criticism. I was like, that does make sense. And after that, I did make a few beats and stuff like that afterwards. And then I showed him. He was like, yeah, this is a lot better and stuff. And I was like, yeah, like, it's because you said that. And he was like, I want something bumping and stuff. And it was just, like, a real boring beat. And, yeah, I think criticism is a good thing. I think fat shaming is a really good thing. I think fat shaming could save someone's life.
You think what's a good thing?
Fat shaming?
Fat shaming?
Yeah.
The fuck is fat shaming?
You don't know what fat shaming is? We
No.
just shame someone for being fat.
Just like bully them?
Yeah. Just bully the shit out of them.
I guess.
Well, think about this though. So,
fat shame.
What is the intervention for someone that's doing drugs or alcohol or like they're addicted to gambling? Like you're going there.
They gotta. I see where you're going.
You're
Okay, they gotta admit that they have a problem.
Yeah, but there's people that going and they're shaming them for putting their health at risk or putting their financials at risk. How's eating too much food not putting your health at risk? How's being fat?
100% putting.
Yeah, so you need to shame them the same way you would do an intervention for someone. You're shaming them for doing drugs. You're shaming them for spending too much money on whatever, and then you're like, hey, you need to make a change right now.
I see the concept. I see the concept. But in this day and age, that can never happen.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I hate it. Like when people are posting stuff like, there's nothing wrong with a belly and stuff like that. I'm like, well,
you're unhealthy.
There's a fatty liver under that belly right now. But other than that, I mean, you look great. You're confident.
And I'm not the most healthiest guy in the world, but
I am.
I'm literally a triathlete.
I don't do triathlons. All right, I actually play real sports. I'm not trying to be the best at working out.
Oh man, yeah, no, I don't know, man. I live in my little rock, and
yeah,
I noticed that if I let myself start getting info, that's why I don't hear the news or read the news or anything, because if I see myself getting info about all this crazy stuff that's happening in the world, I know I get real ashamed and like I feel like I feel humans have so much potential, you know? Yeah. Like we as humans, we have so much potential. Yeah. And when we don't live up to that, it really pisses me off, and I'm embarrassed and I'm ashamed. It's like you know what I mean? If a family member was caught robbing a bank or something, you know, I'd be like really ashamed of that. So I don't know, man. So I don't feel like I could change anything. So I ignore everything. And I live in my little circle with you, with Kui, and, you know, I love my fights and I love my, my art.
I feel like there's a lot of people that worry about too much, like, other stuff, and they're not really worried about themselves. Yeah. It's like, I'm always asking, like, what's the action we can take when someone's complaining to me about, like, the way the world is and stuff? Like, what's the action? A lot of times they don't have action to take. It's just they just want to complain about it. I'm like, well, this is just draining me right now.
Yeah.
I love what Gandhi always said. I mean, everyone knows the quote, be the change that you want to see in the world. So just be that good person that you want the world to be and stuff like that. And I don't live by it, but it's a cool quote.
Yeah. And it's kind of like the Bible, you know. I'm not a big Bible thumper or anything, but you know, the Bible, I mean, obviously it's not meant to be taken literally, but there's some good stories in there that you can learn from. You know what I mean? Like how to treat people, how to be nice to people, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and we go to Bible studies twice a week, and then church on Sunday. So you would study the Bible front to back to front. They would give you like, it would be like a class, and they would ask a question, and everyone would raise their hand, and then the person that asked the question would pick on someone. So you would have to study like these little magazines they would give you.
It's like like a school.
It's like a school. A school that's what they call Bible study. Like it is straight up Bible study. And I would get in arguments a lot, like when I was on the debate team, about like they would try to bring God into it and stuff, and I would just kill them because like they didn't really
you had the knowledge.
Yeah, I was like, I read the Bible. Like, trust me, I know. And then there's a lot of people like you're saying, there's good parts, there's also bad parts, and like some people try to take those bad parts and try to like use it to their advantage and stuff. I'm like, easy Leviticus. Read the newer stuff; it gets lighter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they say a bunch of stuff in the book, right? Leviticus.
Yeah.
Like you can't associate with your spouse on her period, and you can't eat shrimp and long hair and all that weird stuff. Right?
I'm pretty sure that's also the one where it says like, a man's semen can't touch the ground. So basically, like if you're using a condom, you're sinning. Basically,
you know
what I mean? Even if you're married.
Like,
in the Bible it says
the
only time you're supposed to have sex is with the intent to have a kid.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Sex. I hear a bunch. Everybody talks. What is sex?
Right. Can someone show me?
Please, I swear to God, everybody talks about this.
I've nutted before. I swear, I've nutted. Totally nutted before, man. Yeah. So back to kangaroos. They will fight you. I have seen videos of that. Like people say you just throw some boxing gloves on and they would like to fight.
Have you seen that kangaroo that looks like Nate Diaz?
Yeah,
he's like flexing. He's like 209, bitch,
right, or whatever their area code is over there. Yeah, but for real, like I've seen videos. I saw that video of the kangaroo choking out another kangaroo. Just straight up chokes him out, and it holds the choke for like 2 minutes. I'm like, that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's just straight up like looks like just fucking like almost like a baseball kind of choke.
That choke you got me with that one time?
All the time. That
one time that I didn't pass out?
Right. But yeah.
I don't remember.
I just woke up with the worst butt ache.
Butt ache?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right.
What'd you do to me? What'd you do to me? Jesus Christ. Wait till we're married. Fuck.
Buy me dinner. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I've learned a lot of jiu-jitsu, not even knowing it, from my cat. Just playing with my cat.
It's primitive, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking fighting is primitive. Jiu-jitsu is primitive. It's all leverage. It's all fucking. It's all.
Could be fighting bears.
Counters. Yeah. Or angles and shit.
You look at the bear. Like the bear's going for a double leg and like grabbing a single and stuff.
Yeah. He's smash passing and everything.
Yeah. Right. It is pretty crazy. There used to be that show on Animal Planet. It was like Fight Night or Animal Fight Night. Remember that?
Yes.
That was good.
And you can learn a lot from that. I remember Conor McGregor back when he was freaking Mystic Mac and awesome. I mean, I'm a fucking Conor dick rider. I still think he's awesome. But I remember when he used to be like, oh, yeah, I'm a student of human body movement. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. I study gorillas. And people were looking at him like he's crazy. But then if you look at gorillas fighting, dude, when they're as soon as they get taken down, they're back up to their feet like prime Jose Aldo. You know, you take them down, and the longer you stay on the ground with the ground guy, the more chance you have of being held down.
That's true.
So like John Jones did against Alexander Gustafsson in the second fight. I don't know if you saw it, but
I don't think so.
John was like, we noticed in the first fight, because it was really close, the first fight. A lot of people gave it to Alex. I gave it to Alex when I first saw it. But they said, or John said, yeah, in the first fight, every time I would take him down, I would try to hold him down, but he would stand up within 15 seconds.
Right.
Happened like 3 or 4 times.
He's such a great wrestler too.
Exactly. And then, but in the second fight, he says, I'm just gonna take him down, not try to pass or anything, just hold position for like at least 15 seconds, and then he will concede, or he will cede the position.
Right. I don't think I've ever seen that fight all the way through. I think I had to DJ that night, but I've seen the highlights where he just had that big old upper lip afterwards. Like you've never seen John Jones look like that after a fight.
Exactly.
I want to watch that fight. It's a fucking 25-minute fight, right?
Yeah, it was a 5-rounder. It was good.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought Gus won that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard in the highlights. I mean, and they're identical. Like they are the same reach.
John's a little long. No, John has a much bigger reach, but height wise, they're very similar.
And style too, and just body type and and both kind of like
they're real rangy.
Yeah.
Of course, one's black and one's white.
That's true. That is true. That's the difference. That's why he won.
They were fighting in New York. No, I don't know where they were fighting.
They always win. How is that possible? Yeah, my mic's still on. Sorry about that. Just making sure. Yeah, like I said, this is
gonna have to start this from the top. Hey, we're the Dry Hearts, Danny and Ryan here.
Right, and yeah, we're this is the first one, so a lot of the video quality and everything is gonna be kind of just see how it's gonna go. It's probably gonna end up good because I'm gonna be the one producing it. So it's probably gonna be good.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
Yes.
These were silver when I first got them.
That is
They're
true.
fucking gold.
We changed the name to Gold Bells instead of Silver Bells.
Gold Bells.
That would be an interesting one. We just worked on that project with Paige Stakely. Does her parents own steaks?
Stakely, I hope so.
That's what I'm guessing.
I thought it was Steakley.
She's a very healthy girl. She's
very fit.
You can tell
She's
she gets
very
protein. So
strong.
I think
She has
her
a good
parents
amount
own
of
steaks. Just all of them. That's what I'm guessing.
Ribeyes, Tuscan ribeyes,
Right.
New York strips.
What were the 2 songs you did with her?
We did for the Dry Hearts, about to be or it's already released.
Sorry,
Huh?
release, yeah.
Yeah, Under the Covers, a Christmas album by the Dry Hearts.
Yes.
That's 2.
Christmas.
We did Baby It's Cold Outside, Roles Reversed. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I've gotten actually a lot of compliments with that
really?
one.
Yeah.
And we did another one, Mary Did You Know? But so it was Ryan's idea. A little preface on this one. So we're making the Christmas album. He's been wanting to make a Christmas album, and I wanted to make a Christmas album for my mom for her birthday or for Christmas present. And we brought in an actor that I know, Paige Stakely.
Actors. Are they called actors? Is it all like PC now? I guess everyone's an actor.
I call them actors. I don't know.
God, I learned all these manners.
She's
for
a girl.
No, I learned all that we like know.
That I know. No,
Right, we don't know.
She's stronger than me.
She is stronger than both of us.
But yeah, Paige, she's awesome. She's beautiful. Super. I don't believe in talent, so she's really hardworking and she's super skilled. Right. So yeah, we brought her in. I worked on her with a couple of projects in the past, and we did. What's it called?
Baby It's Cold Outside.
Baby It's Cold Outside. But Ryan was like, "Hey, have you been hearing about all this flack that it's getting about it being really pushy and really like fucking, he's gonna rape this girl?"
What's in his drink?
She
asks what's in his drink.
Yeah, she does.
Right.
And he's like, "Don't worry about it, but it's cold, so stay here." Are you sure you don't want to go?
You cannot drive home. You will pass out. What? Nothing.
But
I got your hat.
But it sounds really smooth if the girl sings the guy's part and the guy sings the girl's part. It's kind of like super flirty and it's super sexy.
Right, yeah.
And well, we fucking did it, and we've gotten a really good reception on Facebook from it.
Yeah.
At least I have. I don't know about you guys, but
No, YouTube too.
they're like, "Oh, Danny, I want to fuck you right now. Please come by."
Jesus.
That's the kind of reception I'll get. Danny, you know it's getting cold in San Antonio.
Right. And I actually waited because I was telling you I want to wait a little bit to start pushing all this Christmas stuff. Like I waited for that cool front to come in. I was like,
Dude, that was brilliant.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, because it got so
I was
humid
like,
all of a
fuck,
sudden.
yeah, it was-
We're in San Antonio, Texas. If you're watching it somewhere else,
Babe, it's humid outside.
right? Freaking November 29th, and it's like 80 degrees humid and stuff. It's like what? But it got a little chilly. But it warmed up a little
Thank
bit right
God.
now.
If it stays like this for Christmas, I'd be happy.
I want it to snow. I love snow. On Christmas Day miracle.
God dang it. A Christmas miracle.
Right. Just a bunch of car crashes.
The city, if you're not from San Antonio and you're watching this, the city shuts down
Yeah.
with hints of rain,
Right.
nonetheless snow. We had snow day. I'm a grown-ass man, and I had a fucking snow day at work 2 years ago when it fucking snowed 2.5 inches of snow that shut down my whole work. I'm at a call center at the time, and I didn't even fucking...
Right. I think for us,
God, it was funny.
What's real scary is the ice on the road because we either get like
black ice.
yeah
Not
the
racist.
worst. I only see ice. I don't see color.
No, this shit was black ice.
Trust me.
Damn.
But yeah, like I think it's just because our roads ice over, and that's what gets real dangerous.
Yeah, and the cars, of course, aren't used to. You know what I mean? I don't know if they have certain type of tires for snow.
No,
I don't even
definitely
know
not.
about that shit.
Yeah, definitely not. I drove up to Colorado in a little Scion TC I had, and yeah, it was interesting. Like, because you can tell I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
But and then there was people that I was hanging out with there, and I would have to like follow them in my car, and they would just be like gone, and I would be like,
Like, hold on, guys, fuck.
Right? They're like, you're in the front wheel drive, just point it and don't go that way. And they're like in real drive, just like sliding
Jesus
everywhere.
Christ.
Like I'm watching their tires spin. I'm like, what the fuck?
It takes skill, man. It takes practice, just like with anything.
Yeah.
You know, it takes.
Well, I also think I just had in my head that it's gonna be super slippery and icy because that's the way I've always driven in cold conditions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you hit the brakes and you're just like, and you're just like going, or the car starts to turn because that's Texas winter.
Dude, fuck.
Where like over in Denver, it was in Boulder, it was just like you just kind of drove through the snow, kind of thing. It was just like, yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. We suck at driving in the rain and in the ice.
Yeah, I mean we're kind of polite. I mean, you go to Houston and Dallas and shit, like they suck at driving over there.
Do they really?
It is the worst.
I've been to Houston for the Queen concert this past year. I took my sister to Queen.
Yeah.
And
you've seen posts where they'll be like, okay, if you're coming to Houston and you need to go over here, just go ahead. Rather than going through the city, just go out this way, out this way, out this way. Come
the
out.
GPS did that, dude.
Go out this way, come that way.
It was like, come over here, and then it's best if you just shuttle.
Right. And you're going to get on a ferry in the water, and you're going to come through this way. It's like, wait, what? You're going to end up in Galveston.
Go to Pasadena.
Like, what the fuck? And you're only an hour away.
So do you prefer cold weather or hot weather?
I do love cold weather.
Right.
Yeah, I do love cold
and
weather.
I'm much more stylish in the cold
Yeah, I was about to say, I got a lot of nice jackets I like to wear in the cold. Yeah.
I literally have 2 days a year where I could fucking dress super nice.
Right, and then you can't even wear it in the afternoon. It's already too hot.
Yeah. By noon, you're like, fuck.
Sweating. Dead.
I take my beanie and my scarf off.
Right.
I looked really good, though, in the first, 2 hours of the day.
Right. So this is just a little test we wanted to do. We're going to start doing more of these. I wanted to keep it within 30 minutes. We're a little bit over that right now. But we will be doing more of these.
We can go all day. We're friends. I like this guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and y'all probably could tell that by this. Nothing gay.
I really like him. Wait, what?
Nothing gay. All right. Well, that's it. And yeah, praise Allah.
Praise
Allah.
Allah.
Sorry if offended anybody.
Keep it out for the dry hearts. Keep your eyes looking.